When it comes to the movie Project Hail Mary, I'm going to be honest and say whilst I found it very entertaining, I did find a lot of it quite baffling at the same time. But let's get into it. Firstly, the acting was superb from everyone involved, especially Lionel Boyce, who I was quite taken back by the fact he was playing such a serious role, and that Ryan Gosling was the more comedic element in this film. Whilst Ryan Gosling being comedic is not the surprising factor, seeing Lionel Boyce on the other hand not doing that is quite surprising, but it was also a real nice change to see him being more serious. I hope to see that more from him as his career goes on. The effects in this film were great to see, not only from a visual perspective, but the attention to detail was immaculate. And then visually, this film had some fantastic shots. One in particular that just had me glued to the screen because of its beauty. And then, whilst the story is very serious, I think the comedy beats that they place in this film don't come off as cheesy, and they are very necessary and don't feel like they're just wasted material. I think they did a great job when adding them in. Now, when it comes to the choreography, firstly, I found it quite baffling because of its presence, but I will say it was amazing to see not only the actors doing this great dance sequence, but also the aliens being on time as well, just showing the amount of time and effort they put into these type of moments. What I really enjoyed in this film was seeing the aliens and humans bonding over the children they have and going over what they have in common and so forth, and it's quite a beautiful thing to see. But then there's this looming sense of fear when a particular question keeps getting asked by scientists of, if we can only save one planet, whose do we pick? And you never get a full-on answer until the bitter end. And I think that was really good to have that sense of fear loom over us as an audience, but also it's such a hooking factor of never getting that answer. The allegories towards humans and aliens being similar was intriguing in this film, slowly tying it to those born in a country and those travelling to said country, and that they just want safety and the things people take for granted that they don't have access to. Now, when it comes to the ending, this is where I found it to be the most baffling. Spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to hear it, go to this time mark now. They realise that only one planet can be saved, and in doing so, another planet will be destroyed. And both of these people are being pressured by their governments. Not only that, but they're dying children to make the ultimate sacrifice. Something we see lies so heavy on the characters that they decide to not do it, as they just couldn't deal with the burden of having to destroy another person's planet, especially a planet coming from a person that they've just gotten to know and love. They really had this huge connection. They couldn't see themselves killing them all for a planet and all that. That really moved me. And when we see the evaporation of these planets, that really broke me. But then to see, after the explosions and evaporations faded, the stars come up and creates the words level 2. That threw me off, and I really just didn't understand what the hell this was for an ending. And if anything, if they're trying to get me as an audience member to go, if this is like bait for the sequel, I will not be attending. Apart from the film's ending, there is quite a lot to criticise. Firstly, the dance sequences in and of themselves. Why are they placed in this film? It felt so unnecessary. They don't do anything for the plot itself, and even the lyrics themselves have no relevance to what is going on in the actual story. Don't know why this element was added. Another thing was cameos. We do see quite a few cameos popping in every now and then, but they're no real reference to the film, and it's just for people to go, oh, look at him. Oh, look, that's... Which for a moment is cool, but then you take it back and realise, like, they have no dialogue. There's no real necessary need for them to be appearing in this film. And it just makes you scratch your head and go, why are they in this? And then lastly is the trans AI. We learn about a piece of technology that can swap between genders with voice. Sadly, when they are in space, the technology gets damaged and it can only be to one particular gender, which happened to be male. And throughout the film, we are hearing this AI continuously complain that they want to switch back to being female, but sadly they can't. I felt like this was the most virtue signalling I've ever witnessed in the film, and so pointless and unnecessary as well. Overall, This film had some really cool ideas. The story and visual perspective was amazing. They did a fantastic job. Sadly, they added so much unnecessary elements into the film that I, as a viewer, just detested this cinema experience and put me off wanting to watch this film ever again. Is it good? No, it's okay. Rating wise, I would give it a 4 out of 10. Now, when it comes to would I rewatch it, the answer is no, plain and simple. Like I said, story and visuals were fantastic. I cannot say that enough. But they added in so much unnecessary crap that it ruined it for me. I don't think I'll ever go back and rewatch this. Now, when it comes to recommendations from a sci-fi perspective, I'm going Red Dwarf. Yes, it doesn't have the visual elements that this film does, but it does have the heart, has great characters, and also has creatures and mechanoids that we get to explore, whether they're helping the protagonist or against the protagonist. That's what I really enjoy from that show. And also, it's got brilliant comedy. Next, I would recommend the film District 9. Again, a great sci-fi film, but also a great allegory for aliens being treated like migrants. Thought that was fantastic. Then lastly, I would recommend the film Event Horizon. Not only because it's a great sci-fi film with brilliant horror elements, but because sometimes the horror elements create this beautiful visuals. Yes, it's very dark and disturbed, but they are beautiful nonetheless. Those are my recommendations. This has been my review for Project Hail Mary. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, please like and subscribe, but most importantly, thank you and have a nice day.